I was nosediving there. Let's not even go there.
So, since we brought up augmented reality, Facebook at their F8 conference recently was really pushing augmented reality. Their showing of it was not that great. But what I want to know is if you had augmented reality tomorrow, what is the killer app for you? What's the thing you would want your augmented reality to be able to provide you? Here's a couple examples that I thought of. Something as simple as you scan the ISBN number on the back of your book that you're reading, and then as you're flipping through, you never need a bookmark ever again. Not only that, but when you close the book and you pick it back up later, it remembers the page you were on and exactly where your eyes scanned, like the last line that your eyes were scanning across, right? So something as simple as that, just a bookmark, but a more advanced bookmark that can tell you if the page lights up when you hold up the book, you flip to that page, the line you were on blinks a little bit so you can find where you were and you just continue reading. The one that I always talk about, and I think we might have talked about last time I brought up virtual reality, but you go on a nature walk and not only do you have like a trail, like all the trails light up for you in different colors, like you can just like go like, what's that one, and it'll light up, oh, that's a harder hike, that's an easier hike. But on top of that, every plant along the way, if you look at it and whatever it is, you gesture towards it, it'll tell you some information on that plant.
That's cool. Yeah.
And the other one that I thought would be really cool is just something like you're watching a movie, and for me this would be really cool if instead of having the subtitles across the bottom, I could have right next to if I'm watching the movie, I could have right next to it a separate screen that just has or just below it the screenplay, so I can look at the screenplay and see how the screenplay matches up to the movie and look at the description of the movie and not have to have paper in my hand, but just have it sort of scroll along with the movie. I can check in with it and see, make notes on it as I go, or highlight parts that I want to come back to, something like that. But anyways,
so, some of those things I don't consider to actually be improvements. I think that those are just like progress for the sake of progress. But it's like I still prefer, even with our current technology, I would rather hold a book than hold a Kobo because I like that tactile experience.
Okay, but environmentally, what's better for us if you're able to look at it on a screen and you never have to print something off again, or if we just continue to develop paper?
I love that we're still going the like paper is murder route when there's like Cobalt 60 and all our electronic.
I was just gonna say
totally.
The resources that are involved in building a phone. How many books had to potential? What's the equivalent in books you would have had to have, or pieces of paper to get to your phone?
That's why I pose as a question: what's better?
Biologically harmful really waste versus carbon when you're done with the book.
Yeah.
So my point is, if we continue to cut down trees and do make paper, or if we mine all of Earth's rare minerals, what's really our net gain for either of those? I don't think that's an argument for necessarily a progress for progress' sake. I think that you could make that argument about the printing press. You could have made that argument about any advancement in making a hammer. Oh, my stick works just fine.
Yeah.
I still prefer my stick because I just grab it off the tree and I use it. I don't have to go to some guy who smashes the metal until it looks like a hammer.
We need an Amish guest sitting here.
That would be interesting.
But
let me just answer your question.
Yeah.
I think I've found an app that would actually improve my life. If I could have an augmented reality app that would give me reminders when I'm acting outside of my moral code, right? So when those moments when you're angry and you can't control your anger, right? You're in a conversation, you're like, no, I just have to say this, and no, you're wrong because of this, and it's just like beep beep beep.
Yeah, alert.
Yeah. That's what your prefrontal cortex is supposed to be.
Yeah,
for.
but it's obviously been hijacked by lots of other things.
So then if a computer gets to be the moral arbiter, what happens if you do get hacked?
No, well,
that's a good call.
The idea behind this is that I have...
You mean a cue, not something that actually turns that off in your brain so you...
Yes, I'm not hardwiring myself.
But I just went the other direction on it, and I'm thinking now in this world of VR or AR, we've got also a bunch of Soma addicts stumbling around. If you could give your prefrontal cortex the day off and have just your little cue light going, I'm like, yeah, I'm cool with that, or no, don't kill that guy. then like
I'm more thinking like
get high on Soma. And
Just
take
something-
the day
I'm
off.
thinking more personally, like, let's put it this way. It only works when you're not connected to 4G.
Yeah.
So you can't be hacked. It's a local network just inside your little Google glasses.
And, it just,
And
you
something
say a keyword
happens.
that it doesn't like, and it goes, hey.
Or it can
Google
let it totally read the conversation of what I'm saying and sense my heart rate and the whole deal, all these things that technology is going to do, and it's just like, cool it, stop doing that, or no, you're being a dick, like, ease up, or why are you doing this, like, why are you having a Big Mac today? I thought you're supposed to be a vegetarian.
Yeah,
like
something
stuff
that just
like
tells
that,
you,
like
even just a calorie counter next to you think that, or something that tells me every time I'm using some irritating verbal tick. That just to help you train yourself off of it.
I would like it. Yeah, I'd use
You
it
guys have
for
seen Wall-E,
goals.
right?
Yeah.
I'd use it for goals,
Gonna
like
end up
having personal
A bunch
goals
of walrus
and
people.
Just
and
to,
setting my
just
goals.
reminders.
Yeah,
for
setting
yourself.
my goals because I feel like it's too easy
Floating
to
around
train
shit.
your brain to not have to be accountable to yourself.
I'd like to address that because I don't think that is the logical conclusion of people having the aid of technology.
I feel like that's the goal, though.
I have reminders. I have schedules. I'm still like sad sack spiraling hard.
See, no, that's what I mean. Like, it's too easy to like self-deprecate yourself and be like,
But do you
I
want to
can
rely
find an
on-
excuse not to do that?
Do you want to rely on technology to be your moral compass by just reading your statistics? Like your like.
If I've put in what my goal is,
That's the
goal
thing.
is
It's
to
still
be
you saying I don't want to be acting like this, and then when you are acting like it, it reminds you. You said you didn't want to do this.
Yeah.
As much as I don't like it, I think that's definitely the mega app and the breakthrough point, maybe even the singularity point, is when we have that technology, and it might even be as simple as AR glasses. We're going to have that moment where we can interact with a computer so well that it becomes intuitive on the computer's behalf. And the computer suddenly starts saying things like, hey Dylan, it's so-and-so, would you like to remind them of this? Or, hey, you're at the gym, would you like to, do this workout or that workout? Or, hey, you're a vegetarian and we just noticed that you spent the last 20 minutes standing in front of a McDonald's. Are you thinking about a Big Mac?
Yeah, I'm not
Because-
vegetarian, but
But, it would not only could it offer you all these augmented things and aids and tools, it would start throwing them at you predictively, which, I mean...
But don't your thoughts, like, wouldn't you already have, you'd be wrestling that even without that technology. If you're standing in front of McDonald's for 20 minutes, you'd be going, oh, I'm a vegetarian, I really shouldn't. But that's already happening. You need that technology to get that experience.
As a screen time device.
Yeah.
A lot of
it just
people do need
wants
that
to-
external reminder. Like, a lot of people don't. Well, let's look at it this way. Imagine that someone has a deficiency of some kind in their higher executive functions in their brain.
Yeah.
And don't allow them to express, say someone has an addiction.
Yeah.
They are chemically addicted, they are clinically addicted, they have an addiction problem, everything they touch, they get addicted to. Now imagine there was something that could just be there to remind them you're not supposed
But
to
no,
do
okay,
this.
I've got
Imagine something
a
there that can give them the stimuli they want anytime they want it all the time.
I've got a fiance that does just that. If I'm gonna go have a cigarette, she goes, "Are you sure you want that cigarette?" And I go, "Shut up." Like I would think that technology would be annoying more than anything because people in different states, they don't want those reminders. It's like, maybe I just want to have a Big Mac. Maybe I just want to have a cigarette. Shut up.
it has to do with how much you want. Yeah, it goes back to the psychic thing. You have to buy into it. You have to
consumer
want.
products are always opt-in.
You have to want to
For now.
make that change,
Yeah,
right?
that's
So there's obviously things in our lives that we would actually like really passionately want to change.
Now,
Like,
having
I
said
want
that,
to do better at this. I want to be better at that. Will you help me do that? Okay, sure. I'll help you do that.
Having said that, I don't actually tell my fiance to shut up. Like as soon as I said
it
that, I was
just
like,
occurred
no.
to me though that
Just in my
made,
head.
I just made a claim that I think I disagree with, that technology is always opt-in. I didn't want a cell phone for a long time. I didn't want a smartphone. Who doesn't have a smartphone now? Could you?
I know a couple people that still have flip phones.
You're right. It's always opt-in in the way that consumer capitalism is buyer beware and sovereign
Clothes
consumer.
were opt-in at one point
yeah.
too, but we decided to make it law after it became.
Yeah.
But cell phones are never going to be law. If we're really lucky, they'll be universal.
It's getting close. The internet is now considered
universal service.
You must have a laptop at university.
And there will be, like, that's the thing, like, it happens by degree, and then eventually, will it become, my question has gone completely off.
That gets scary.
But, anyways, aside from the inevitable demise of humanity due to subdermal implant,
I thought we were going to try and be less heady here.
What would you like to have? I thought that was funny.
Yeah, it is.
What do you think, folks? Leave a comment.
Yeah.
Patrick, what would you like to have in your augmented reality classes?
I would like it for tutorials. Like if I had something go wrong in my car engine, I'm not really a car guy. I know how to put windshield wiper fluid in there, right?
Yeah.
But if it came down to changing a belt or maybe then I'd like to be able to just kind of zoom in on the part and have a little guy there telling me how to do it myself. It would be extremely handy.
That'd
Right?
be great. Can you imagine how irritating it would be when you open up your car though, and it's like presumably you'd be connected to the computer in the car, so it would know what you have in the car. But can you imagine it was like it just came like a user guide, and you open it up and you're like, that part's not in here. He's just remove this part. And you're like, it's not there, man.
Yeah.
He's like, why aren't you removing the part? You cannot continue until you remove
it
this
just
part.
makes
Or if
me-
you're trying to cook a recipe or something, have them kind of walk you through it, have a little,
That reminds me of the Matrix.
Yeah.
The one moment that I remember from the Matrix that really hit me hard mentally was when there's I forget exactly what's going on, but they need to get out of the situation they're in, and they come across a helicopter, and she just chimes in and be like, I need to learn how to fly this helicopter right now. I'm just like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
It's like, boom, man, if it was that easy to learn something, damn right, I would be all over that.
But then what are you doing? What's everybody doing? We're all running around junkies on our, it's
Being
sort
gods is what we're doing.
I don't know. It feels like another
It does feel
step
wrong.
away from connecting, because already there's that weird fear almost of at a party. Do you talk it out? Do you try and figure out? No, you go stand up and you Google what president it was, because heaven forbid we put our combined public educations together. And,
Hey, I was right. I just had to double check.
You were right. My point isn't even that, and I'm not saying that as a group we should decide, especially because we're recording video right now, let's not all really go on a tangent and do a history lesson, which is what I was totally trying to make us do.
Yeah.
My point is that we're already busy Googling shit at parties. If I'm I'm at the party and I'm download tutorial for seducing Eric's hot friend, and it's no, it's go try and talk to another human being.
Yeah.
Didn't talk to her.
So your thing is you think that we're losing our humanity because of
Took my sweaters
technology,
off
and
and
it's
ran
getting
out
worse
like
and
an
worse as we go. There's no turning back.
I'm just saying that if you are going to put your eggs in a basket, do you want to put your eggs in the basket of interacting with a piece of technology more and more and more, or would you rather connect with humans more and more and more?
I don't think they have to be mutually exclusive.
It's kind of already going that way.
But I think, like I was saying before, I think it's the pendulum. I think people are going to realize, oh shit, this isn't actually making us happy. And I think that technology is going to be just a tool.
I really hope it'll become an aid. Well, for example, the people thought the Gutenberg printing press was going to mean no one would ever leave their home again, and no one would ever be visiting the church. Because now you can just read the Bible from home.
Yeah.
And the pastor, the
But
priest,
religion
it destroys the whole
booming,
construct.
and because of the printing press.
Yeah.
Because it reached more and more people, right? Now, does that analogy is that necessarily an analogous situation? No. But there is precedent in the past for people thinking something would tear us apart, and it brought us closer together.
I think what it comes down to is your confidence in yourself to make the decisions that you need to make to get you to the point in your life where you want to be. And to hell with the rest of the world. I think that's what it comes down to. If the rest of the world starts putting chips in their brains, and I don't want or necessarily see the benefit of putting a chip in my brain, I'm not going to put a chip in my brain. And that's a decision that I can make. So I think that's what this all comes down to.
What if they guarantee you an extra 30 years of life? monitors your blood sugar, lets you know if you're gonna have an aneurysm.
It's a decision to make when it's actually there on the table.
But what does your gut tell you? Not that that's a reliable meter, but
my gut's telling me right now is I need more information, because is that really worth? Is an extended life actually something that I require? You know what I mean? Do I really want to live longer?
What if those
my life
if
sucks? If those
last
30 years,
you're sick and shit all the
yeah,
time. Yeah.
Like, we lost another camera.
Oh man.
Can you see me over here?
Grab that one on your way by.
yeah.
Hopefully it's not card full.
No, just stop automatically.
Well,
Yeah, but no. So I think that's what this comes down to, is we're putting way too much pressure on trying to hope and possibly predict what the rest of the world's, how they're gonna act, when meanwhile the choices are really right here.
like we don't have a choice, but we do. Yeah,
We do have the choice to buy in or not buy in. Like, there's the whole Walden approach to this. Like, we could all at any moment just say, you know what, I've had enough, and go buy a tiny little piece of land and just live there and not have to deal with any of this, if that's what you want to do. Or as technology progresses and people put chips in their brain, you're the last guy without a chip in your brain. Like, that's still a choice you have, and that's still, I think that's where the energy should be put, is into that.
You know, you're really
Focus.
right. And I'm, as much as I hate being wrong, I obviously have already tacitly agreed to the cultural hegemony approach, because none of my friends would look twice at me when I was like, do you guys want to combine our income and do a communal retirement on a commune? And they're all looking at me like, what? I just want to finish the siding on my house, dude. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
But so like so
It's worth noting that you're not wrong. None of us is right, because we're all talking about the future.
I know. I
And
just mean,
a huge part of me thinks that technology will doom humanity, because it's really a 50-50 flip of a coin at this point.
well, I'll hammer my point home again, or BF's point home one more time. The Walden 2 point, which is that if you're going to keep putting a lot of your eggs in the technology basket, you should at least cultivate and look after the chicken that's producing the eggs of morality and philosophy.
For
and
sure.
caring about other people.
Caring
Because-
about our home and
Yeah.
our,
We want those eggs in that same basket, because the technology is just a technology. It's just a knife. It's just something to be wielded.
Yeah.
Welded?
we could weld a knife. We could
Before we leave the conversation of technology potentially leading to Armageddon, I find there's this haunting element to the Fermi paradox. Are you familiar with the Fermi paradox? Fermi paradox, it was something Enrico Fermi, a scientist, a bunch of scientists were sitting around having lunch, and they were discussing and doing the math about, well, if there's life on our planet, and they did the math with the odds, and they figured out, essentially, we should have encountered life by now. That's the idea. We should have seen it, at least. We should have had some look at it. And because of the age of the universe, there's places that have been around a lot longer than us. Why haven't we encountered it? And one of the strongest arguments for why the Fermi paradox is the way it is, and why we don't meet alien life all the time, is because any civilization that reaches a certain level of advancement is inevitably going to kill itself. So, anyways, Tom, what's your